What up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. Saturday NBA Talk with Jay and LJ, man. The both of the J's here. You see what I'm saying? We're trying to get some cash every single day. What's up with you, LJ? Everything cool with you, my brother?
Oh, everything is lovely, Jay. Always interested, loving to come join with you, man. Let's talk some ball, see if we can get the people some money. Great games today, so let's get right to it.
Let's get to it, man. We're not like some of them other shows, man, wasting your time with all this other bullshit, man.
Yeah.
It's all about the picks. We get straight into it. You know what I'm saying? We're not here to waste your time. It's all about actionable info in this one, LJ. Let's get straight down to business in this one. Let's head over here to the streets of Orlando in this one. Magic land 2 points at the house versus the Cavs in this one. Cavs took a 2-0 series lead, and then the Magic come back and smoke them by damn near 40 points in that game three, man. That was a huge spot. I didn't think the Magic had that in them, LJ, to be perfectly honest with you. Total sitting at 202. These games have been going under like crazy. What do you think happens in this game?
I think pretty much the same thing that happened in game three is going to happen in game four. Orlando, they played very well at home as a home favorite as well. This is their comfort zone pretty much throughout the season. But the last 11 games, including the game that they just played, game three, they are 10-1 versus the East at home since February. Now, that one loss was against Indiana. They only scored 97 points, and they lost the three-point battle in that matchup. Those other 10 games, Jay, they won the three-point battle in that matchup. So this is what it comes down to. Who's going to win the three-point contest? We know Cleveland puts up a lot of threes, so it's just all about if they're making them. And my thing is that I think Orlando has the better advantage because they got more bodies to put out there. They're really 10 people deep out there. They could put a whole nother starting lineup if they wanted to out there. The Cavs only have maybe 4 people that's giving you 30-plus minutes with the starters. You got Strus. He's giving you 30, but he only gives you 6 points. So who else are you going to rely on? You're limited. You know, you got people hurt, and you only got LeVert and pretty much Acuna, you know, and that's all you have. So you have to depend on your starters to give you major production if you want to be contested in these games. But as far as this game, I do believe Orlando stays the course, does exactly what they did in the game game three, on your home court, converting plays and limiting the opportunities that Cleveland has because Cleveland, they have to struggle to score, you know. So if they're not hitting the three, like I mentioned, they're going to be in a deficit. So I'm going to lay the 2.5 with Orlando. I believe they take care of business. They got Franchero, who's been consistent, 25, 6, and 4 in the last game, So as long as he's consistent, they're the more healthier team. And like I said, they play well at home in front of their crowd. So
that's a fact.
I'm going to lay the 2.5 with Orlando.
Yeah, I couldn't hate. I do like the Cavs here. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do like the Cavs. I think that game three was like an anomaly. Now, obviously, the Magic, they like you said, they are a great home team as well, man. And they can bring the defense as well. But it's all about the 3-point battle, man. For whatever reason, this is like it's kind of hard for me to figure out because like some of these teams, like we know that the Cavs are the much better team. They just came out like they don't have any killer instinct in them whatsoever, man. And it's almost like the lights are too bright for them once again. Like you're not in New York City this time. I know Orlando and it's popping down there, obviously home game, but like the Cavs, this is all on them, man. You got to have the killer instinct. Like you're probably finna face up against the Celtics next round. Like you can't be messing around in this series, man. You got to try to get this shit over with as quick as possible. They had their one bad game. I'd be surprised if they had another game that bad, to be perfectly honest with you. Now, would I be surprised if the Magic got it done? I wouldn't, but I do lean to the Cavs here to get this win in the game four, to be perfectly honest with you here, LJ. But I mean, if you like the Magic, I can't talk you off. Like you laid out some great points. They got probably the better defensive team. They're at the house where they're a lot more comfortable at as well. I just don't see the Cavs having that bad of a game. That was their worst playoff loss in Cavs history there. I see these. I'd be surprised if the Cavs didn't bounce back. Now, their bench was playing like absolute ass. I mean, when you got Karis LeVert and Jared Allen that's leading the team in points, that's a that's a bad game from Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. They can be playing games that's horrible. Max Strus, they brought you over here for this exact reason. And my guy go out there and score 4 points. They went out there and got absolutely smoked, man. But hey, what do I know? I lean towards the Cavs here, LJ, but I mean, you could be on the right side here with the Magic, my brother. Are there any props that you like in this game? Like we saw them bring Wendell Carter Jr. in the starting role last game and switch things up. He only had, I would have lost money because I would have thought that Wendell Carter Jr. would have came in there and be like, all right, y'all want to put me on the bench? I'm finna come out here and give y'all 30 PRAs out there. My guy went for 2 points, 5 rebounds, rebounds and 0 assists. Do you think they win a Carter Jr.? Because they probably start him again. Do you think he has a little bit better game here, or do you like any props here on the Magic side?
I mean, for the most part, it's just Banchero. If I was going to take a prop, just look for him for his points. And because you can get some production from any of these players, you never know who's going to have an outstanding game, considering how they do it collectively throughout their team. So if you don't focus on Banchero, I would just take them to win the game, pretty much.
That's a fact. Yeah, and I always say the home team with these teams as well, the role players, especially coming off the bench, play a little bit better. You saw it in they had Cole Anthony's points at 5.5 last game. See what I'm saying? I don't know what Markelle Fultz was at, but both of those guys went over their points. Let me see. Cole Anthony, he was only 1 of 3 from 3, but I know his points was at 5.5. He went over that. Fultz went over his points as well. So look for some of these role players coming off the bench. If you like the home team here, they're like Cole Anthony and Fultz are going to have those type of games off the bench. What's for sure, because we know the Cavs are probably gonna. What I would do is focus in on Suggs and Banchero and make everybody else beat you. That's what I would do if I'm the Cavs there, and I think they'll probably be zeroed in on those guys. So look for Cole Anthony and Fultz possibly once again to have a much better game. Me personally, it's Cavs are nothing for me in this game. Obviously, I got them to win this series, so if they do happen to lose this game, then I'll take them in Game 5 pretty heavily, to be perfectly honest with you. But Cavs are nothing for me in this spot. I do think the Cavs come out here and get the win in this one, man. Let's go over here to the streets of New Orleans in this one. Pelicans getting a point here at the house versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. In this one, the Thunder have just really outmatched them, LJ, so far. They've outgraded them. Their first game was the Pelicans' best chance to get their win. Yep. Game 2, they went out there and got smoked. What do you think happens in this game? You think the Thunder take a 3-0 series lead here?
No, I'm cautious of it, and that's why I didn't bet the game. But I just feel the Pelicans, they really miss Zion. They really miss him because the 2 games that he played in the regular season, he had 25, 8, and 9 averaging in those 2 games. So that's a lot of production you missing. So the fact that he's out, you can put Lou Dort on Brandon Ingram and lock him up to where other production is going to come from New Orleans. So I think that's where the advantage is. Both teams are top 10 off defensively efficiency throughout the season anyway. So as long as those possessions stay limited, because the Pelicans had 18 offensive rebounds last game, Jay, and they still lost. So if you can't get possessions off of getting the rebound, but yet you're giving up turnovers because you had 22 points off turnovers. So, and that's what Oklahoma City thrives on, fast break points. They have 34 points in 2 games. The Pelicans only have 13. So you're giving up points on turnovers and you're not converting points when you get the offensive rebound. That's just a bad combination. And like I said, they're missing Zion. He's their leading scorer, second leading rebounder, second leader in assists, plus not to mention number 1 in free throw attempts. He was averaging 7 free throw attempts a game. So those are possessions that the clock is stopped. You're getting the other team in foul trouble. So a lot of things are happening, the fact that the Pelicans don't have Zion. So for that reason alone, I lean OKC just because, like I mentioned, how defensively minded they are. And, they're very quick off screens. You see what I'm saying? Very competitive. And like I said, Lou Dort is their anchor. So as long as he keeps Brandon Ingram limited, you got Shea, the MVP candidate. I believe Oklahoma City has the advantage. But I lean them. This is their first playoff road game, so I want to see them win first before I try to invest in them in the series. But other than that, lean OKC.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. They definitely, what the main advantage that OKC has is they got those 3-point shooters. They got, like, the Pelicans are scrambling trying to find all these 3-point shooters. You got guys like Cason Wallace, Isaiah Joe coming off the bench. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys got snipers coming off the bench. So I feel like that's the main thing that's really been hurting the Pelicans. Obviously, when they're not making their shots and they're scrambling around, I was listening to the post-game interviews, and they like, we're trying to get these guys from the 3-point line, and then we're trying to stop them from getting to the basket as well. So the Thunder really kind of got a little bit too much for the Pelicans. What I would do here, I would target the first quarter with the Pelicans in this game, man. It's at -1. They know that they got to have a lot better start as well. They got to come out and throw the first punch as well. It's all Willie Green's been talking about. Like, we got to start the game better. We got to like be the aggressors to start this game and let them feel us. Like, we can't just let them be out there and do whatever the hell they want. You mentioned the Thunder, somewhat of a young team, which young don't really matter because these guys are very, very mature, but this is their first road playoff game. We saw their first playoff game even at the house. They came out with jitters. So I'm expecting these guys to come out a little bit slow. Now, obviously, if the Pelicans can't guard these guys on the 3-point line, it's going to be a long night. But I do think the Pelicans come out here with something in the first quarter, and Pelicans in the first quarter -1 would be my top play in this particular game. I couldn't talk you off first half as well. First
Mm-hmm.
quarter and first half should be the spots for the Pelicans, but at least with the first quarter, you're at least just targeting that first 12 minutes. You know what I'm saying? A lot can change in that second quarter right there. So I do think Pelicans, you see them underdogs for the game, but favored for this first quarter and the first half. I think those are the top spots for the Pelicans in this particular game. Fly, Pelican, fly, LJ. Do you like any props here? What do you think, SGA or somebody like that? You like any props on either side here?
No, I couldn't come to it because, like I said, OKC's on the road. I want to see how they do, and when you don't have your whole starting lineup, I don't like to try to give props because anybody can have like I said, outlandish game that you couldn't predict. So I stayed away.
Yeah, that's a fact there. Yeah, I would expect guys like Trey Murphy to have a lot better game. I know Herb Jones has had a couple bad games on the road as well. Role players, they play a lot better at the house, man, for these home teams. I'm expecting guys
Mm-hmm.
like Trey Murphy, Herb Jones to play a lot better. I'd like to. I know Jordan Hawkins is like a rookie, but they got to get more 3-point attempts up, especially off the bench as well, man. Jose Alvarado, obviously he's a defensive guy, but he can splash some threes, but they need an offensive spark coming off the bench. Jose Alvarado's the defensive spark. They're gonna have to try and get Matt Ryan, Jordan Hawkins. I know these guys don't have a ton of playoff experience, but I mean, this is a new age NBA. Even though it's a playoff game, you still got to make threes. You got to keep up with the Thunder in the math game and take and make more threes in these guys, man. So because we know, like other than CJ McCollum, like Brandon Ingram's not really shooting a ton of threes. These guys got to get up more threes, man. They're gonna have to. Willie Green's gonna have to make a little bit of a lineup change here, in my opinion, man. Especially like when it comes to playing more players off the bench. Jordan Hawkins has went for like 6 or 7 threes before in the game, man. He's done it plenty of times. So in my opinion, they got to switch things up if they want to win this game and make it and try to get back into this series. Because if not, the Thunder, the way that they play, they're not scared of these guys, man. They could fuck around and sweep the Pelicans, man. So Pelicans first quarter, first half would be my top spots in this game. Wouldn't be surprised if they won the game, but they got to come out here and be the aggressors early. If they're down early, I don't really see them making a comeback versus the Thunder. Like, you got to take advantage of these young guys playing their first game on the road. So Pelicans first quarter in this one, -1. I'll sprinkle a few bucks on that, my guys. Let's go over here to the streets of Miami in this way, LJ. Heat getting 9.5 points. In line open, the Celtics open up, laying 7.5. We've seen plenty of money coming in on Celtics. Went up a couple points. They're laying 9.5 here on the road in Miami, LJ. Heat went out there and took game 2 outright as 14.5-point underdogs. What do you think happens in this game, LJ? You think the Heat could possibly take a 2-1 series lead here?
No, I don't think so. I think Boston bounces back. They've been one of the best teams off a loss pretty much the last 2 years for the most part. But we all know that we could just focus on Boston in the first half. So I laid the 5.5. They're 30-11 against the spread in the first half on the road on the season. And +8 first half point margin coming off a loss, being a double-digit favorite. So it all points to Boston bouncing back early. And I looked up the last 12 matchups in Miami, including the playoff series that they've played. Boston is 9-3 against the spread in the first half in Miami in their last 12, +10-point margin. So
yeah,
I'm just going to take them in the first half. You can't trust them in the second half because they just get lackadaisical and they give up leads. And I really can't explain it. And maybe it could just be the mindset of your coach, because I believe that if Udoka was still that coach, they wouldn't be giving up these leads like that.
That's a
because
fact.
He keeps those players accountable. I don't think that young coach allows this team to be accountable to each other. So I don't know what it is. I may be wrong, but it's the reason why they're giving up these big spreads coming back into the second half. So I'm going to focus on in the first half where this is where they play their best. Miami played lights out, in game 2. They shot the 3. I don't see it happening again.
They went crazy from 3.
Yeah, they went crazy. But I think that was desperation. And I believe Spoelstra coming off a loss, that's what he does. He plays well as that in that position as well. So the fact that they gave it all in that game, I believe the air comes back down in Miami, because now you're getting Boston where they play their best on the road versus the Eastern Conference, especially in the first half. And not to mention, shout out to Chris. He said this earlier on his show, home dogs laying 9 points or more spread in the playoffs, 2-17-1, Jay.
Damn.
So
shit. You said home dogs getting double digits, right?
That's 9 points. Yes, 9 points or more.
They get smoked.
It's smoked. 2-17-1 their last 20. So it all says Boston wins the game by the spread, but I'm not going to take the full game. I focus on the first half because that's where Boston do their first, minus the 5.5. That's what I
I'm gonna have to ride with you on that one, LJ. It makes perfect sense. We know that it's a bounce back J spot, bounce back Celtic spot. You know
yeah.
what? Bounce back J, all that, man. I love the Jasons, the Jalen's, all that, man. See what I'm saying? But yeah, this is a bounce back spot for the Celtics. They got smacked in the mouth. People are saying like, oh, they're gonna go undefeated. You know what I'm saying, to the East. I'm like, come on, bro. They play. I know the Celtics. They play around with their food. They fuck around. They'll have a good game and then they have a letdown. And that same day. You know what I'm saying? The same day they end up taking a loss. But I mean, we've seen man, the Celtics went out. They had this time, man, where they went out and stuff in Miami. And I remember because I had like some inside info on it. It was like, all right, they out at the club and shit and all this. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna take the Heat then. You see what I'm saying? The Celtics finna have a bad game. Man, they went out there and smoked the Heat, bro, about 30-some points.
yeah.
I'm like, bro, what the fuck? These motherfuckers out partying all night, out with girls and stuff, and still went out there and smoked the Heat. And they had Jimmy Butler. You see what I'm saying? I was like, bro. So maybe they just really like playing in Miami. Obviously, their last year they got kicked out of the playoffs from Miami, so this is a step up spot for the Celtics here, man. I do lean their way. I'm not laying the points with them for a game, but I mean, it should be a first half full game spot for the Celtics here, because I mean, like you said, if the Heat come back down to earth and they're not hitting those threes, and Porzingis paper plate decides to show up here, Drew Holiday, like this is what they brought them over here for, man. The Celtics, they better stop messing around, man, with these Miami Heat, because you fuck around, let them take this game. And so they already took back home court advantage from your ass. So this is an absolute must-win spot for the Celtics. They got to come out here and punch their ass in the mouth early and play Celtics basketball, man. So because the Heat out Celtics the Celtics last game. So I'd be very surprised if they didn't come out here and whoop up on these boys here in this bounce back spot. And it's crazy because they lost home court advantage, LJ. They're still minus 2,000 to win this series. It's crazy, bro. They're still minus 2,000. And they don't even have a home court advantage anymore. So we'll see what happens in this game. But I might have to ride with you on this Celtics first half and our guy Chris as well with that 9.5 on the full game, man. Let's go over here. Last game up, LJ. Lakers getting 3.5 at the house versus the Nuggets. What you and for you remember what I said last show, huh? All right. I'm just saying, bro. Yeah. I mean, shit. But I'll tell you what. I'm just saying, Jizzle. I'm just saying, bro. I mean, did you hear me talking in your head or what? Did you hear me talking?
I heard the echo. You know,
like when the game was like, bro, this motherfucker J Money, man. I know I'm gonna have to hear about this shit. No, it ain't all on LeBron though. But I'm just saying, like, I mean, regardless of it, we just talking about answering info. This is what I think happens. I think the Lakers come out in the first half with at least some of the pride or joy. See what I'm saying? And then the Nuggets are just too much for them. We've seen this shit happen all the time. And I'm missing out on money because I should have went to the casino and put a couple racks on Lakers first quarter. You know how you can do that first half full game, or like you can do the halftime full time, and it's usually always north of plus 400. And last game was at plus 500. Lakers to win the first half, Nuggets to win the game, and is it plus 500 again? And I think the Lakers come out here in the first half and then lose the game to the Nuggets. I think that halftime full time bet once again is going to cash Lakers to win the first half, Nuggets to win the full game. LJ, what do you think about that? What do you think about this game? What do you think about Jokic and Murray and Michael Porter Jr.? Michael Porter Jr. was going crazy against these boys, bro. What do you think about this game, LJ?
I just believe it's a bad matchup for the Lakers. Just plain and simple. I mean, you know, you've lost 11 straight times now versus this
team. Why you, LJ, that's why you're supposed to try to go up against the fucking Thunder in the first round. I know it sounds crazy to say, oh, we want to lose a game, but why would you try to, why? I don't know. I just like, if you had an opportunity to dodge the Nuggets, like, they just fucking own them, bro. Like, I don't know, man.
I mean, being an athlete, I don't think that you just want to lose on purpose to get an advantage.
Happens all the time.
But not publicly, all the time, though. I mean, I get it, but that would have been a bad narrative, in my opinion. To be honest with you, you play who's in front of you, and that's just what I feel.
LJ, I'm with that. Like, don't get it twisted. I'm like a huge proponent of that. Like, I love that. You play whoever. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, when these motherfuckers have beaten you 8 straight times, they kick you out of play. Like LeBron, these players know. And it's two sides of it, because you obviously, what I'm saying is, me and you, obviously, we like old schools, they have that mindset. We want to play whoever. This is a new age NBA. These guys duck and dodge smoke. I've noticed it 3 years ago where these guys like, all right, you know what? We want to choose to play this in the first round. We want to choose to duck and dodge this. This is just what they do, bro. So what I'm saying, going with these new age motherfuckers and what they do, they should have dodged them, bro. What I'm saying is, if they wanted a chance. Now, obviously, me and you, we're gonna say play whoever's in front of you, but the Nuggets own these boys, LJ. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, they do for the most part. And it's just unfortunate that LeBron and AD can't get any help, because the roster is limited for the most part. Darvin Ham knew that, so the matchups that he throw out there is really questionable throughout the game for the most part. And it just comes down to situational basketball. They're better on the boards. They're better in the paint, plus 10 on the rebounds, plus 5 points in the paint. Lakers can't defend and they can't score like that. You depended on two players that's pretty much up in age to carry you, but yet you got D'Angelo who's sitting on the bench, don't want to go into the huddle. It's just bad vibes there. Austin Reeves can only do so much. He's out there trying. Hachimura is just taking up space. He's not giving you any production. Torian Prince, he's just out there looking around trying to holler at Megan, Stallion in the crowd, whatever the case may be, bro. They're just totally disengaged with this team. Mind you, we got the defending champions that's out here trying to handle business. They know they have your number. So for that reason alone, Jay, I'm not going to even bet the game, man, because I want the Lakers to win. I want them to have some pride to where they do not get swept. But can I trust that? No, I cannot trust that. I'd rather wait and see if it happens. And I'll be like, okay, LeBron, get your team, show some pride, and don't get embarrassed. But I don't know if it's going to happen. I just think Denver's too much of a matchup for him. And the fact that the Lakers give their all in that first half, it's sort of like boxing, Jay. The rope-a-dope effect. Let them keep all this energy exposed in the first half. So when the game comes down the line, how much do you have left?
That's a fact.
You're giving everything you got. So now we got you right where we want. So that's why I think, Denver's, possibly will win the game. If the Lakers may get swept, but I'm hoping that the Lakers give some pride and show some fight and don't get embarrassed and swept in front of your home crowd today. So,
and that means they got to come out. And it means they got to come out in first quarter, first half, LJ. Like there's no, and they've shown that they can do it. So I don't remember the first game. I know they had a lead in the first game. Did they cover first quarter first? I know they covered first quarter in the first game, maybe even first half. So I think they've covered first quarter, first half in all three games. Because remember, they had a 22-point lead in the first half of the second game, game 2. Then they came out, it came 3 as well, covered first quarter, first half. So they've lost every single game, but they've came out in the first quarter and first half, every single game, LJ. So should we trust the Lakers here? Let me see what the because if they're gonna come out with pride, they gotta start. And LeBron is fresh in the first quarter. Let me see. You can get +1, +0.5 in the first quarter. You can get +1.5 for the first half. Maybe even plus. It's +1 at some of the sharper books there, and then they still +3. It's the full game spread still going up to 4 though. You see what I'm saying? Juice.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I would trust them early first quarter because the first half, that's kind of dicey. But the first quarter, I believe that they come out and, because like you say, LeBron, that's where all his energy is. He tries to get the lead up in the first quarter to get the advantage. So I would trust the first quarter. But I do have a parlay that I've been taking every single game for the most part with these players. If you take LeBron's 26 points, you take Aaron Gordon's 7+ rebounds, you take Jamal Murray's 5+ assists, you take Porter's 2+ threes, and Jokic to get a steal. That's +304 parlay. That's hit every single game. So that's what I'm going to continue to ride with and not deal with the spread because
how many legs is that?
That's
4
5.
or 5?
That's 5. That's a 5 team.
Like that shit should be more. Maybe it's because like you're doing the Murray 5 and plus assists.
Yeah, I dropped them all down to points. I dropped them down.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah, +304.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I've just been riding ever since then. Like I said,
all the patterns. MPJ has been smacking these boys. LeBron's been having his games. AD has been having his games as well. MPJ, they can't stop him. We know that they don't really have the size to get Gordon and Jokic both together. That's a really good parlay right there. And also, like we just following the patterns. That's like this kind of been every game has been a carbon copy. Lakers come out, get a lead. And then the second half, Nuggets just like, all right, come on. And I'm sure like these two teams hate each other. And the Nuggets, no, it's crazy because ever since LeBron picked Jokic last in that little All-Star game, whatever, they've smacked him. It's almost like Jokic tells God, like, man, let's make these motherfuckers look bad as possible, bro. So we know the Nuggets want to go out here and sweep them. You see what I'm saying? So I'd like to see the Lakers get a game as well, man. I don't want to keep hearing about, oh, they beating them 12 straight times and all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? I'd like to see them get a game as well, but like I couldn't bet on it. I would bet the Lakers to win the first quarter, lose the full game, or win the first half and lose the full game as well. I know those are usually north of plus 400. You see what I'm saying? So I'm really kicking myself because I knew that shit was going to fuck around happen in game 3. And I missed out on some chill. Like if I put a couple bands on that, they would have turned 2 bands into 10,000. You see what I'm saying?
Lakers should have got game 2. If they would have
That's
got game 2,
yeah, no, that was the one.
Yeah.
That was the one right there, bro. That's a fact. That's a fact, man. But let's get out of here, my brother. Let's go over the plays. Let's recap the plays here, LJ, my brother. What you got today for us on this beautiful Saturday? Well, I mean, it ain't beautiful where I'm at. It's raining. It's a mix of rain and snow, like it's fucking Cleveland or something, LJ. But what do you like in here today, my brother?
We're gonna start with Orlando, man. I'm gonna lay the 2.5. I just believe they play well at home versus the home crowd. But like I said, it may be a back and forth series. Every home team possibly will win in this series. It may go 7, but we'll see. Unless Cleveland lock in defensively today, that's the only way I could see them, taking this game versus Orlando. But Orlando minus the 2.5, I laid it. OKC, Pelicans, I leaned OKC, but I have to see them win on the road their first playoff game. It's something I haven't seen yet, and I'm expecting the Pelicans to respond, especially in their home crowd. Like you mentioned, at home, first half, they played well. So I just want to see OKC play well on the road first before I take them. Boston, first half, man. This is where they play their best ball. Like I said, so just focus on the first half. Don't even trust them in the second half. They should win the game. It should be Smack City for the most part.
But should be Smack City.
They haven't.
I want to ride with you on that one too. I want to ride with you on that Celtics first half.
Yeah, that first half is pretty much money for the most part, in my opinion. But hey, it is the Celtics. You never know. But last game, Lakers in Denver. I stayed off because I don't want to bet against LeBron in desperation. And not to mention, I won on the first game, game 1. I lost on the second game, and I won on game 3. I took Denver for a game.
Okay.
I don't want to bet now and lose my money because the Lakers come out and show desperation and win. So that's
why would take them in the first quarter?
No, I don't want to do nothing but just keep taking the parlay because I don't know what to expect. I don't know, man. I don't know the motivation. Like they got their number, Jay.
Yeah.
Like 11
and then when you see Russell not even like man, they finna trade my ass away.
Yeah,
I'm done with this shit. They
just bad, man.
Yeah, so, I'm with you. I still think they come out in the first quarter, but I'm with you. Like they could just be like, man, baby, where we going?
Like, see, and then, if things don't go LeBron way, he gonna check out and start moping and crying, and not want to put up any effort. So those are the things that I just see happening because Denver is just so strong, man, and they could put their foot on the neck and embarrass them, bro. So
yeah,
I don't want to have my money.
I feel like we should probably take the Nuggets full game here, bro. Like, and not even sweat it. Like, because we know that the Nuggets they have all the motivation in the world to sweep them and make the Lakers look as bad as possible. Pair that with if the Lakers start to get down 5-10, they just gonna give up, bro. They're not gonna have no fighting. Not the last game of the series. I'm not finna risk my vacation with getting an injury and I gotta rehab all. No, we finna go to the beach.
Yeah,
I got them M's in my account. You see what I'm saying? We're gonna do this post-game press conference, and I don't want to talk after that. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to we're going to go chill big. See what I'm saying? We finna go.
Because you know why, Jay? You know why? Because it's just basketball.
Yeah, it's just basketball. Who the fuck says that, bro? They tell me that when I'm playing too hard at the gym. It's like, it's just basketball, bro. No, I'm trying to win. I'm trying to smack your ass. So yeah, it's just basketball to the Lakers, but the Nuggets is just a sweep. They just trying to get the brooms out in their ass. So I actually think take the Nuggets here. I think Lakers come out with something in first quarter, first half. I think the second half is all Nuggets here, man. So this could be a really good in-play game. I think the Lakers come out with something first quarter, possibly even first half for sure, but full game, I couldn't bet them to get it done for a full 48. LeBron doesn't have it in them. Russell doesn't have it in them. They just, if their minds are done, Nuggets should be the play here, my guys. But
I would love to see the Lakers get a substantial lead, maybe like 15 to like 17, and bet the Nuggets live to see how far they're gonna give you the money.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah. Unless these boys then did some shit like with the Russian mob or something, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna let them get one. It's always possible, man. Yeah, all the money on us now, we're gonna let them get one. See what I'm saying? We're gonna let them. It's very possible, man. But Lakers first quarter, first half, I think should be the right sides. I'm with LJ there with Celtics first half and full game should get it done, in my opinion. I think Pelicans in the first quarter is the top spot in that game, my guys. I'll be straight up with you. I'd be very surprised if Pelicans didn't come out with some fight, and they're too great of a defensive team to just like get ran over by the Thunder. Thunder full game could fuck around and get it done. I'm not gonna lie to you, especially if guys like off the bench get to hitting them threes. But first quarter is the absolute top spot for the Pelicans in that first in that game right there, man. Pelican fly in that game. And like I say, in that Cavs game, I'd be surprised if the Cavs didn't come out. I know LJ on the Magic there, and they play really good game at the house, but them smacking the Cavs by 30, that was just an absolute no-show by the Cavs. If they show up in this game, I'd be very surprised if they lost to the Orlando Magic 2 games in a row, my guys. So let's see what happens today, man. Hopefully it's a beautiful Saturday wherever y'all at, man. But let's get some cash. We appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Hit that like button one time for the one time. Me and LJ taking time out of our busy Saturdays to do this show for you guys, man. The least you could do is hit a like button, man. Hit the like button. Let's try to get 1,000 likes one time for the one time, man. And it will be a show tomorrow at let me see, 12 p.m. Eastern, man. We got to get that 1,000 likes though, man. Let's go to Smack City one time for the one time, my guys. We out, my guys. Let's go. Let's get this going, baby. Let's go. Come on.